All right, freedom lovers, welcome to the Freedom Unchained channel. I have a video here for you today about our future path that needs to be taken for social media and our internet freedom. I did an interview last week with Mr. Kittyface. Um, so I have a clip of that in here, and I also have a clip of Synth, the visionary of Skycoin, talking about what he sees. Um, the product of CX and Fiber blockchains that Skycoin is creating, and what that's going to do for the social media world and the internet infrastructure as a whole. So I hope you guys subscribe to this channel. Please like this video, comment. Let's get a conversation started. And until next time, I leave you guys in the love and light, one infinite creator. Peace. Check it out.
Well, I really wanted to talk about social media.
Oh yeah, we can get into that.
Future of that, because that's a hot topic right now, I think.
Ask away. Yeah.
Yeah. So, where do you see, like, you have heard Senth explain like what his vision of social media is. So
because we also did a programming language called CX, which was a blockchain programming language, and we released a platform called Fiber, which I think we're going to call like CX chains now. But basically, we developed this technology where any program that could be run on a normal computer can now be run on blockchain. So I can do Twitter on blockchain, Facebook on blockchain. I can do video conferencing. I can run first-person shooters. We actually have a demo now where there's like a 3D like GoldenEye with like reflections and smoke effects, and we're running 3D games on blockchain. And it's not like the shitty smart contract crap with like Ethereum. And this is like I can actually run a computer program on the blockchain, and it's running in real time. So we developed that technology, and then because we could. And what do we do with it? I don't know. And we spent 4 years developing that, and I had no idea what it would be used for. And then I realized, like maybe a year ago or 6 months ago, that this is for the decentralized internet. Like this is eventually what is going to take out Twitter and Facebook and Google and YouTube. This is what's going to allow people to own their own data, and every person can have their own blockchain, or even 8 blockchains. You can have your own blockchain for your blog, your own blockchain for your tweets, your own blockchain for your video, your video channel, and you have all your data on there on your own computer, and anyone can subscribe and replicate that data peer to peer. You don't need Google, Facebook, Twitter anymore. There's no reason for them to exist, because all they're doing is storing your data and giving you an HTTP JSON API. It's from a technical perspective, they're not really doing anything. So we can move that, and if you want to, you have some friends, you can subscribe to their Twitter feed on the blockchain, and you can have a full copy of all the data, and it can replicate peer to peer like BitTorrent. So we built this infrastructure, and I wanted to stay out of that area, but then the media censorship and what's going on in the media has become so crazy now. Yeah. I don't think that we have a choice except to go down that route.
You have heard Senth explain like what his vision of social media is. So can you dive deeper into that?
Yeah. So essentially, what's happening right now over social media is it's established in such a way that it can be censored at every single level. So I mean, it's not just the social media; it's every level of the internet. So this is technology they built in the 50s and 60s that they then implemented in the 70s and 80s, and then nothing's changed since then. Everything's been backdoored.
Also probably made to spy on us.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's I mean, technically speaking, there's a lot of different standards that released. There's SS5 and SS7, which is being used now, or SS8 that's just being used now. And essentially, this is part of the SIGTRAN stuff, and it's part of the SCTP stuff that the what's it called, Internet Task Force released. So, and nothing's changed since then. And all the protocols that we use to support literally everything vertically and horizontally are backdoored. Everything is designed in such a way that can be shut off at any point, anywhere. And social media, which is built on top of already like many layers of already compromised systems, is itself compromised as well. Is it a fundamental problem with centralized networks? Probably not. I do believe that centralization can work if given the right tool, give the keys to the right person kind of situation, but not on the scale that we're seeing now. Do I believe that power corrupts? That's a more philosophical question. But yeah, we'll touch that later. But yeah, basically, the idea now is that there's kind of two problems. People don't own their data. When you publish something on the internet, you lose all ownership. It's the companies that own it. So essentially, you're actually giving up your own soul to these companies, and you're basically saying, "Here, I want you to just suck me dry of all my resources, all my money," and that's what's happening right now. You don't own your data. Nobody owns your data except the companies. And in a way, you don't own yourself because they own your opinion, because that's what you publish online. You live vicariously through the internet now, and you don't own that. You don't own your own experience. They do. So that's one problem. And the other problem is they have their own agenda that they want to push. And because of that, sometimes everything slows down and you can't speak. And if they want you gone, they'll just snap their fingers and you're gone.
Yeah.
So, to solve both of those problems does require decentralization. It does require redefining how the internet works. Having your own blockchain, being able to publish your own opinion and own that, actually have programmatic proof that you own that, and have everything mathematically backed, as well as having a network that scales indefinitely. It's infinitely scalable. So having something like that is essentially what Synth wants, and this is what we're building with Skywire, with CXO, with the CX chains and CX, and the ownership that we're going to be providing with the fiber, and also with the hardware wallets and all the hardware we're giving, and being able to also do it all peer-to-peer, earn money, while having a connection to the internet, being able to meter that to your friends and own that, every resource that you can possibly distribute, you can still own. And that's kind of the vision that we have at Skycoin, and what Synth wants as well.
They took down Parler. I think Parler just gonna get stronger. And then Gab. When did they attack Gab?
Oh, Gab!
A year ago or something?
No, Gab was very recent. Actually, my buddy was talking about it the other day. He said, yeah, for some reason, all of my computers, like Chrome and everything, uninstalled Gab. And now Gab's just gone. It's just been shadowed.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to download it through their software or something, or I don't know. You have to tag.
I don't even know if it still works.
I think their website's set up so good that it kind of just runs like an app on your phone when you do through the browser. So I think you just pin it to your home screen. I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but
Parler,
they attacked him. They just made him stronger. So
yeah. But Parler, I'm upset with. I don't think Parler's going to recover. So they had a huge leak. They had a bunch of feminazi SJWs, just paid actors to just release all the data on Parler, and it's 70 or 90 terabytes of just all the user data that's just been uploaded en masse to 50 different hard drives now, and 50 different databases. And now anyone can access it now, and people are uploading, oh, look at this, I made a database of all the million different people who said they were Trump supporters. Here's their personal information, you can go call the numbers, and I don't think Parler will be able to recover from that. I hope they do, but yeah, it's upsetting.
I don't really like Parler very much. They're just not very user friendly. I think these newer social media platforms have this problem about freedom of speech and not wanting to build an algorithm to actually make their platforms usable. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So you go on these platforms and you can't really find anything interesting or you're interested in. And the thing that made Twitter and YouTube so popular is that they're putting things that you're interested in front of your faces. And
yeah,
I don't think that's what YouTube wanted to do, is put true information in front of everybody's faces. But there for a while, you go from one video to another one, and you're just sucked into all the information that you were learning, and you could go down one path to another path, and it was a great environment to to be on. But then they throttled everybody's the good people's. They put everybody's fake news in front of you and took away all the other people that are trying to tell you the truth, and kind of destroyed it. But I think it's disappointing that these newer platforms don't want to use the algorithms. You could protect people's data and still use an algorithm. You know what I mean? You don't have to.
There needs to be a good balance.
Yeah.
And again, it's kind of this balance between ownership and privacy, it's security, also the underlying technology trade-offs, and then finally just aggregation, being able to actually, and this is why I believe that the future internet is not going to be fully distributed. It's going to be decentralized. We're going to have, we're going to have all this optimizations where people localize the data and stuff, but at the same time, we're still going to have these legacy servers that hold all the information as well. So we're going to have this dual system where you still aggregate all the data on a single server or multiple servers, but what's changed is how the actual technology distributes, replicates, and propagates this data, and where it ends up and who owns it. So that's kind of where I see the future going, at least as a good trade-off with what we have right now.
I hope it goes into where I personally control everything that I post, or all my data I use, and then I have 100% control to use applications to kind of make my own algorithm or news feed or things like that. So I hope to see the internet to be more of not like a Twitter or Facebook where they hold all the information, but they're more of the program that helps you kind of see what you want to see.
Yeah, they're a tool for aggregation.
Yeah.
That's all they are, is just a tool for aggregation. The federalization is what happens underneath. And, you can federalize all the databases and stuff. And what they are is just a tool for aggregation and propagation.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I hope to see it being, you have all your data and then you pick and choose who you want to help you aggregate your information. But then you should be able to torrent your information. So if you don't want to have it, you can have it on clouds everywhere, but people can't really know what it is, or you can just put it all on your personal computer or personal server or something like that. But no one has access unless you give them those keys, and or you just download a open source Twitter, and then you start aggregating it without even giving any information. You're just giving it to your application, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think the same thing, and also being able to set up your own server for the system as well. Saying I want to be able to join in on the aggregation, providing, and also being able to provide, and then, getting paid for it too. Yeah. I think that's the future.
Yeah. That's another thing that I see is you're aggregating your own website as like maybe a news thing, and then the blockchain rewards you as you get traffic through it, or I don't know. I always thought the Steemit platform was kind of interesting, but I don't like how where they took it, but it was a great idea. But,
I'm not a huge fan of BitChute myself, but I do again, it is upsetting that what happened to them, and I do think that this shouldn't really be happening with these platforms.
mm-hmm.
Even though I personally don't use it, I'm sure a lot of people do.
Yeah,
and it's great. It's a good tech.
I love it that it's all out there. I just haven't found the one that I visualize in the future that blockchain will bring us to, or cryptocurrency will bring us to, where you're using the platform, and if you curate something, then you get compensated for that, or if you post something and it gets curated across the internet, then you get compensated for that, and things like that. And I don't know, I just see a different world than where we're at right now, and I hope we move closer to being able to control our information and actually getting a little bit of kickback for that, instead of just a free account.
Yeah.